What's going on, everybody? Jeremy Ritz here. Courage pays better than fear trading. Wanted to share with you what is coming up next week in the markets, the week of April 21st through the 25th. We have some data coming, some big earnings, and I wanted to preview all of that and more in this market review preview. Check it out. All right, guys, so I wanted to give you an update in terms of what we have next week in terms of data, and it's really a pretty light data week after getting quite a bit the last few weeks with CPI and also having Jerome Powell speak. And so Monday, we really don't have much of anything that's going to move the markets. When we jump into Tuesday, you can see we do have a series of Fed speakers where we're going to be watching very closely for what they're saying in terms of potential clues to rate cuts, quantitative easing. We have Fed Jefferson, Fed Harker speaking, and also Fed Kashkari and Fed Kugler. So keep that in mind for Tuesday. It is a big Fed speaker day. On Wednesday, the 23rd, we're going to have more Fed speakers. This is like Fed speaker week. So just again, be ready for that. They could move the market by what they say about the economy and in terms of policy moves that they can make. And also at 9:45 a.m. on Wednesday, we're going to get S&P Global Composite PMI Flash, Manufacturing PMI Flash, and Global Services PMI Flash. So we could get a little bit of move off of those data points at 9:45. So be aware of that. And then if we come over to Thursday, this is probably the biggest data day for the week. We're going to get durable goods orders at 8:30 a.m. We're also going to get a peek into the health of the labor market, the initial jobless claims, and then we'll also get existing home sales at 10 a.m. And there for a while, we saw the 10-year come down quite a bit, and mortgage rates came down with it, but they have since come back up and those rates are rising. So that will be interesting to see the impact on those numbers. And then when we come over to Friday, we are going to get Michigan Consumer Sentiment Final, which gives us a peek inside of the sentiment of the consumer. And really, it's kind of a weak data week. It's a weak data week. So it's a little bit light. And then when we talk about earnings for this week, there are two that I'm watching and that you should be aware of as well. And let me come up here on Tuesday. And the big one on Tuesday, let me find it here in this big old list on TradingView. Where is it? 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 Oh man, look, you guys are hanging in with me. There it is right there. So we get Tesla at close. And it's hard to imagine this being a positive earnings report for Tesla because they are beat up so much. Sales are down, the brand is damaged. But they're going to be reporting at market close. I'm curious to see if Musk will be on the call, if he's going to talk or will be asked a question about whether or not he's finished with his services with Doge. But Tesla's been beat up quite a bit since its December highs. Pay attention to that one. That will have some impact on the overall market moves. And then the next one that I'm really looking forward to, and again, these are the big boys. These are Mag 7, is going to come on Thursday. And there it is. It took me some scrolling to find it, but Google is going to be reporting on Thursday at market close. We'll see if they reference that antitrust case, how that's impacting them. But Google has been beat up quite a bit. They are at a good support area, but again, how does that antitrust case impact sentiment? That's something that I'll be watching to see how that plays out. So late data week, big earnings, Tuesday and Thursday, Tuesday Tesla, Thursday Google. It's going to be fun. So that's going to do it. You are now set up for next week when it comes to the trading calendar, light on data, big earnings from Tesla and Google. And I hope you guys have a tremendous weekend. If I can help you with anything, email me, couragepaysbetter@gmail.com. Please make sure that you subscribe, leave a like, comment on this, and I will see you back here next week for another update of what is ahead with data and earnings. Have a